Sorry, trying to figure this camera out. I don't know why it goes in portrait mode, even no matter how I turn it. So this is a super weird time to go live. People are at work, people are at school. So what I found out is I can go live, do a video, and then it goes in like a little archive, and then people can watch it later. So we're about to get down. Y'all can watch it tonight. What I'm doing is I drew this character yesterday. It was just a face. Just trying to make a short, do a little face on it. And then I did these little designs on him, little triangles, circles. And I thought, wow, he's really sweet. Like I woke up this morning and looked at him. I'm like, he needs to come to life. I really like how he came out. And then just looking at it, you don't really know what it is. So then I decided, he could be like a chameleon. I give him like a little fat belly, some legs, some arms, and a tail, and do this kind of design all over him. I'm like, wow, okay, there. Now we're cooking. Now we got something to work with. Then I decided, well, I'm gonna do him on a canvas, then I can hang him up. Well, so I just went out and painted my canvas. This is what I got. I just did a couple little designs on it, little drips down it. That's what we got for now, and I picked these colors. This was made with iron lac paint. I did a guava. And then delicious. And then I also did Eureka. Now, when choosing these colors, I chose those colors to be similar to the way he looks. So when you look at it, because he's a chameleon, so what's going to happen is I want his skin to be similar to the background, but I don't want him to fully blend in to the point where like you can hardly even see him. He's camouflaged. I don't want him to pop too much, but I don't want him to blend in too much, if that makes sense. So I kind of paired some of these colors with his skin, some of the colors from the little designs on him, and then we're going to give him a thick white outline. Excuse me. A thick white outline to really make him stand out from the color in case he blends in a little bit. This is a dicey move. Usually I say choose your color opposite of your background so it really like comes out at you. But, he's a chameleon. What can you do? So I'm going to have him, I'm going to draw his face, and then we're going to add his body. I painted my canvas ahead of time because I didn't want it to be wet and sit here and have, that awkward silence of watching paint dry. I also have the hairdryer ready to rock, so I hope you got your earplugs. And we're going to get started. Now, I got a variety of markers out. I think it's good to always have, don't just use one kind of marker. Certain markers are better for certain things. So I got these Molotovs. These are pastel colors. Huge fan of the Molotovs. These are the 4mm. I like for covering more area, a thicker tip. You don't want to sit there with a fine tip and you'd be doing it for hours. So what I did with him, his skin color is a peach pastel. So I'm gonna rock that. And then I also got the Poscas. Can't go wrong. So I believe we're gonna be using those two for the most part. And then I got a white deco color. And I really like these. I really like the deco colors because the tip and the paint, it just goes across any surface like butter. It's like using it's like a hot knife through butter. You know what I mean? It just so smooth. You can't believe how it, oh, one shot. You don't got to go over it a couple times. Like a white Posca, you go through once and it kind of looks a little transparent. You can see through it, you know what I mean? So with the Deco Color, it's a really thick paint and it's glossy. So it gives like a shine effect. So we're gonna rock that for the outer outline. Molotov Peach for the skin color. Posca little designs in them. And then I'm probably gonna outline with a black Molotov. So I think we're about ready to get started. This is the step placement. You got your canvas. Okay, well, where do I want to place my character? For this guy, being that I just did his head, I want to give him a full body. So I've never drawn anything more than just this face. So we're gonna make the body together. And now when it comes to this, clearly, like, you're not gonna sit there with a pencil and try and sketch on this paint. There's no erasing, it's gonna screw the paint up. So what you wanna do is get yourself a light colored marker. Anything that is different from the color. You want the color to not blend in with your outline so you can see what you're doing. So what I like to do, I go with a white, or for this case, you could do like an orange, anything that's similar to that, but white's cool. You can sketch, you can just draw it, doesn't matter how you do it. I'm just gonna draw him. Let me get a smaller tip. I'm actually going to use a fine tip Posca for my outlining. I noticed that the white is very watery. I think I just said that, oh well. Transparent, yada yada, you know what I'm saying. All right, back to placement. So I think this guy will be sweet, kind of off-centered a little bit. I don't want him directly in the middle. Maybe I do, I don't know. Yeah, I might do him right in the middle. I gotta get situated. I'm not situated. I want to feel fully ready when going into a painting. You know what I mean? All right. So the best thing to do when you start is, all right, well, I want his head about that big, okay? And then I want his body, chest, stomach, crotch. Foot. We said this was like his chin, mouth, shoulder. That probably doesn't make sense to you, but you'll see it's just little markings. You don't want to start with the head, and I do this a lot. I'm definitely guilty. I'll start drawing the head, and I'll make it a little bigger than anticipated. Next thing you know, I'm drawing the body, and then the body's like coming down to here, and then the legs don't fit. So I got to chop the leg off at the knee and it just looks goofy. So we're just going to do little points. They'll be covered up, but we know that they're there. So with his head, I think I want to make it round. I got some room to work up here. Bring him in like that. And then with the eye, see, look at, there we go, already. Drug my finger right through it. Sometimes you get like in the zone, you're not even thinking about wet paint and you just stick your hand in it. It happens. I'm not gonna cuss, I'm not gonna flip out. We're gonna do his other eye. then what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna bring this, give him like the little snout, and that's gonna be his other eye thing, eyelid. And this is stuff you can build on to your sketch. If you start drawing them, like see that line right there? I changed it. So anything you want to change, you got time. And don't worry about adding all the detail. I don't know why I'm adding all like the little detail, but. Now let's do his body. And we'll give him, well, like a little like peanut shape to him. His chest, his belly. Then we're gonna have the marks of the arms right here, and then his legs. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the tail down, bring it to the side, and wrap the tail up and give it like a little zigzag. All right, now with the legs, I'm gonna give him like a little thigh, calf, feet, and little like gecko toes, knee, toe over here, toe over there. He's a little chubby, little gecko. I think his name's gonna be Gordon. Gordon the gecko. Now shoulder, little forearm, and then his fingers. I really want to express the roundness of its fingertips. If you look at a gecko, a lizard, they have like those little fat fingertips. So we're going to add that in there. He's only going to have 3 fingers, including his thumb, if that's a finger, whatever you want to. We're not going to argue that right now. Let's add his other leg. Make it similar to the other one. We're going to do the same style of foot. And see, that's what I mean about knowing your placement on your feet. Because like I said, if we would have extended this body all the way down, I did it again. Stuck my hand right in that paint. What was I saying? Oh, the feet. Yeah, if you don't know your placement, that foot could be like all the way down here. And then we're screwed. We gotta chop them off at the leg. So always prepare your placement. Now what I want to do, I'm going to add like a little belly, like a lizard belly, you know what I mean? He's kind of turned to the side of it. This arm's going to come up like that. We're going to make little lines in it. You don't got to worry about the detail now. It's going to get covered up anyways. And I want to make him doing something with his hands. Like a peace sign would be cool. So we're going to do this arm. Sketching the elbow. Thumb. And then I thought about doing his tail coming up this way, but it seems like we have more room over here. Versus this way it's going to kind of get cut off. Maybe, I don't know. Let's find out. You want to change that. Make that just completely round. I don't want to do the moob on him. And then something I'm going to change though, that I can't now, is the way his mouth is. See how the mouth goes up really high? What I want to do is I want to avoid that because I'm going to do detail around his eye and I don't want that to mess with the mouth. So you can't see it now, but I'm going to do the mouth like that. And this whole part's going to get colored in. So let's try the tail going, I don't really know where to do the tail right now. Let's go this way. Oh, did you see that? That's the one thing I hate about Poscas. Without even priming, they can just flood a lake on you. Salvageable. And now's the time to do any last minute little things if you want. Alright, get your earplugs ready. We're going to hit it with the hairdryer. Save some time. Sweet. I did a little overkill on that, but all right. Now, one thing, when you're using spray paint on your canvas, a lot of times your paint marker, the paint will act differently on this kind of paint, especially on canvas. I've had some times where the paint kind of like sits on top like water, like what is it? Oil and vinegar. It just kind of sits there. It runs off it. So we're going to test that out. It's different than acrylic paint. If you were to use acrylic, paint marker goes on fine, but certain brands of spray paint, I put it on and the Posca or the Molotov just doesn't sit well with it. So here we go. We're going to test that out. I really wanted, this really bothers me that the splooge, the lake of paint came out. So I kind of want to start there first. Nah, I should do it from the top. The reason I don't want to start there because I'll end up dragging my hand through it. Screw everything up. Yep, that's good. One thing when you're coloring, whether it's markers, paint, anything, it's always best to go one direction. So let's go up and down the whole way versus like, because then you're going to see all that. You're going to see all those marks. And then you're forced to second coat it. Sometimes you don't even have to second coat it. But I think I'm going to want to second coat him. When you do a second coat and then you hit it with like a clear gloss, it really seals the color and makes it super vibrant and bright. Stuck my hand right in the paint. It's a never-ending battle. And then I think for his chest, since he's this peach color, I think for his chest I want to do, I don't know, I think like a yellow. I think orange would be too similar to the peach. Like the little orange markings are cool, but to fully do an orange, that might blend in too much. I feel like sometimes when I'm working around wet paint, like in the movies when they have all those lasers all over the place, you gotta be careful where you're at because next thing you know, you get into it, you're really focused on what you're doing, and your hand's just sitting right in wet paint, and you smear it, and then you start cussing. It's not good. So I'm just being extra careful where I'm putting my hand. And I'm probably breathing super loud. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize, as an artist, you're so focused on what you're doing. Like my tongue's hanging out while I'm focusing. You ever do that when you're drawing, your tongue hangs out? Next thing you know, you're drooling on your drawing. It can get crazy. Now I'm just going to leave myself a little bit of line just to know the separation from the foot to the tail. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit this with the hair dryer, and then we're going to second coat them. I should probably just do it right now. Get your earplugs ready. So I like that color a lot. That's that peach pastel. Now watch the difference when you double coat. Especially when that dries. Double coat, hit with a sealer. That's how you get your art to look like it's printed on the canvas. I'm all about the glossiness. I like flat colors, but I really like gloss. I like the way when you hang it up on the wall, the sun hits it. And see with his face, we kind of covered up where the mouth is going to be. That's okay. Remember I said I wanted to bring it down anyways because I don't want it to interfere with that eyeball. Earplugs. I really like doing these light colored characters, like this pastel peach. When you do your outlining, you can really go hard on the detail with the black, and it stands out a lot more. Because with him, I'm going to get, when I detail him, I'm going to hit the knuckles, the fingertips. I'm going to do little spirals. I like doing the spirals, they're fun. It's a cool little touch. I notice that everybody leaves the live when I hit the hair dryers. I know it's annoying. Nobody wants to hear that, but you also don't want to sit and watch paint dry. When I paint, I'm in a hurry. I want that paint to dry as fast as possible. I want to get the canvas done so I can get the next one done. I enjoy painting, don't get me wrong, but I got like an agenda each day. I want to get this done, I want to make a video on this, I want to paint this. So it's just, this is a second coat, it's still wet, but there's a couple spots where it could be touched up. And that's the perks of using a light color on a darker background. I'm just kidding, it's not really a perk, but you know what I mean. The dark will always show through the light. One of the colors I struggle with the most is definitely yellow, especially when it comes to acrylic paint. Oh my god, I stay away from anything that's yellow. I got this new paint though, it's called it's Master Touch. And it's called Thick Body. I haven't used it yet because I want to make a video. My first time using it. So I got the yellow and I also got a lime green. And I was going to do like a really big Ninja Turtle on a 16 by 20 canvas, and it hit that lime green with the yellow on like his chest plate, and really see, you know, because that paint's $4 more a tube than the other ones, but the other ones, I swear, you put that yellow down, it don't matter what color your background is, you put that yellow down and it's going to be see-through. So you got to do like, for me, when I do yellow, I got to do like 3 or 4 coats just to cover up whatever I'm trying to paint on, you know. I'm just rambling at this point, I don't even know what I'm saying. Hair dryer. Now there's just a couple more spots I think I can just touch up a bit more. It's not the end of the world, but this is always the least fun part of painting a canvas, or paint markering a canvas, whatever you want to say. My favorite part is once all the coloring's done, you get into the detail. All right, last time for the hair dryer for now. Stop with the hair dryer already! All right, now we're gonna hit the eye. Like I said about transparent colors, you've seen when I was sketching with the Posca, it's very see-through. It's not the thickest of paint. This Signal White, this Molotov, goes on nice. Check this out. And we're still going to double coat it. Beans that's white. Sometimes white you might need to triple. I don't want to see any of that canvas through his eyes. I lied about the hair dryer. I said that was the last time for a minute, but here we go again. If you're just tuning in, you're probably thinking to yourself, how annoying is this? See what I mean though? Look at that. I love that Signal White. Huge fan. All right, now his tummy. I think I said I was going to do it a yellow. We're going to rock a Posca yellow for that. I even got this apricot. That's a little close. Apricot's a little close to the peach, and I ain't talking fruit-wise. So I don't want to do his belly that color because it's going to blend in too much, and we want it to pop. So I think this yellow, do his belly, and then I can take this apricot and do like little designs on his belly that'll be different to the yellow. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we do here. We just wing it, put a little thought into it. You don't want to sit here for an hour like, okay, well, what if I did this? And next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock and you haven't even got the belly done yet. It's Friday. We got stuff going on. So we're going to rock the yellow. I mean, see what I'm saying with the yellow. It's just definitely going to be a 3-coater. Hair dryer, here we come. So we're going to do the belly. Kind of starting to look like if Charmander was like a gecko, but it's not going to look like that towards the end. See what I mean about double coating? You don't ever want to do a canvas and put that yellow down and be like, oh, I'm done. On to the next part. No. Because it might look cool. I don't know what it looks like on live right now. Let me bring it up closer. See that? See how you can see through it, transparent? That's that light color for you. So what you want to do check the difference when we double coat it, if not triple coat it. See how that's already getting thicker? Now triple coat will hide all. Now, we're gonna do one more coat of this yellow, and then we're gonna rock that blah, blah, apricot. You're probably thinking to yourself, wow, he's ballsy, he's priming it on his painting. Well, little trick with the Poscas, with any paint marker really. Before you prime it, take the tip out. Take the tip out, put it back in, give it a couple pumps, and you're gonna hear it hiss. That's the air coming out of it. When you hear that air come out, because if you don't do that and you go and you start priming it, the air is gonna push all that paint out, and then you're gonna have a pool of paint, which has probably happened to you before. So always, before you prime your marker, take that tip out, stick it back in, pump it a couple times, and then do it. The paint's gonna come down faster, and you're not gonna get a lake. If you've made it that long during this video, you deserve to hear that. All right, so I'm happy with that. I see something I should have done, and we're gonna do it right now. I wish that I had gone like this. You're probably thinking, why did he do that? Well, that's gonna be like the yellow part of his inner body. Should I have done that? Because that's like this, and then it goes down his tail. His leg's gonna be in front of it, and that's what if I went like this and brought that up more. You know what? I don't know if I should have did that. I don't know. Did I just F something up? Hair dryer, earmuffs. We can always add that part in later. I'm gonna cover that up just to be safe. Because now that I did it, it might be kind of weird. It's all good. We'll cover it. Add it later if we must. Okay. Let's do one more coat on these eyes. Look at that. Feels like I'm painting on here with mayonnaise. All right. Now, let's get into some apricot. I don't know how I want to do this. I'm thinking maybe. That's another thing you're going to see me do a lot, is I map things out in the air. I'm like, go this way. I call it air sketching. So before you make it permanent, just map it out. Like, okay, well, I'm going to start up here. I'm going to sketch my way down. Go like that. So I'm going to go like this, and then curve it in. And that's why I say I'm happy that I didn't do his stomach this color, because it's so close to his skin. You know, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just adding stuff in. And then when this apricot dries, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this yellow, this color, and I'm going to do one line that separates the apricot from the peach, because it kind of blends in a little bit. So we're going to change that. More yellow. And who knows, I might go back in and add that yellow there. At the time, it just didn't make sense. I don't know why I did that. You live and you learn, you know, it's part of freestyle on the piece. You just put things there and change it. Sweet. I've been doing this thing recently where I'll be like painting, even if I'm like spray painting, or I'll do a canvas and I go outside to spray paint it, and I may do something I didn't want to do, and I like try and hit a back button, you know, like when you're digital drawing, double tap the screen, undo it. So I'll be doing something, I'm just like, I want to like double tap something. Call me crazy. He's crazy. All right. Now, what I want to do, I want to take a fine tip. We're going to rock the Poscas right now. And so I want a dark orange, light orange, and I'm going to use a yellow. I'm going to use this yellow to do circles. So all warm colors, this whole piece, but I'm going to use these colors because on the peach, these are going to pop. So what you want to do, you want to add all your little things, little details, little coloring, shaded color, all that before you get into your outlining. Now it's cool to do your outlining and then go back in and add little things here and there, but we just want to add our whole base down. You know, you got your outline, your sketch, and then add in your little detail, your base color, yada, yada, yada. And then when it's all said and done, then we're going to rock a final outline and do all the detail. Because looking at this, a lot of this is going to be black. There's all kinds of little muscle detail I'm gonna do. So let's get all this stuff out of the way. You know what I think would be cool? Check this out. Little things. So now when I made this character, I just wanted to do like little shapes. And the reason I'm not doing an orange, finishing the outline around that, is because that's gonna be black anyways. So no sense of doing that orange and then covering it up with black again. And as you can see, I'm not really taking much thought into where I'm adding the little shapes. Just kind of add them in where you think they'd look cool. I'm gonna use a different yellow. I'm gonna use a darker one than the one I'm using. And what I want to do here is just add some spots. Oh, no, that's supposed to be there, okay. Whew, Lord. And it's cool wherever you add the yellow because when we do the outlining, it's It's not a big deal if same with the orange, if your black outline goes through those colors because it's his skin, it's burnt into him. You know what I'm saying? And with this kind of stuff, just add it wherever you want. It's your art piece. Nobody's telling you how to do it. You want to add it there, you want to add it over there, go for it. If you put it somewhere and you don't like that spot, bust out the hair dryer, dry it, and then paint over it. Not a big deal. That's what makes it so fun. You start doing it, and then you just go wild with it. You get lost in your art, and you learn something new. You're like, wow, this really worked. I like this. I'm gonna do this more. Or this didn't work. I'm probably not gonna do that again. Now I'm gonna come through with the dark orange. I already did that orange. Let's do let's see what this one is. Yeah, that's different. Just adding stuff wherever. Now I think we're ready to start diving into an outline. I could sit here for an hour and just keep adding like little designs and detail to them, but I think that's good. I want to use a brand new Molotov. Oh! Yeah, buddy. Because the reason is my tip on this one's pretty shredded. I use this one all the time. So we're gonna rock the 2mm, and I got an extra fine for the tiny details. I also got the big boy, the 4, the heavy hitter. So this is what I mean. Let the air out. Take the tip, take it out, put it back in. Did you hear that like pop? You probably didn't hear a motorcycle just went past. But you'll hear like a pop. Look how fast that comes out. You don't gotta sit there and just keep pumping, it comes out quick. All right. My thing is always where to start. You know, just to be safe, let's blast this one time. Now I'm debating if I want to just do like a super thick outline around his head. Decisions. If you watch my videos, you know I always talk about the importance of a steady hand. You don't want to sit there and sketch your final outline, because you're going to see that. When you're outlining a final outline, you got one shot. It can only be one line. And what I mean by that is don't sit there and keep taking the tip of your marker off as you're doing an outline. You don't want to do one part, take it off, come back, do another part, take it off, because that's really going to show. You've seen I started at point A and did one full circle, oval, square, whatever you want to call it. One full stroke around, connected it, took it off. Do that again to thicken it up. I didn't go boom, 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 boom. So the importance of a clean outline will take you very far. You want people to look at it and say, that looks like it was printed. But it's not printed, we're just crispy. So here we go. And you don't have to do the double. I just do it because I like it thick and I don't want to use a 4mm on it. Because I thought about it and I thought maybe that's too fat. So if we do a 2mm line and then maybe another, make it like a 3, that's cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here. That seems like a safe point for me. I don't want to start here and then drag my hand through. So I'm going to start here and just boop, 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 and connect. And you just want to follow this like it's a road. Maybe you had a couple beers. You're driving home. The cops are following you. You gotta stay focused. You can't swerve. You gotta stay perfectly in that lane. I was kidding about the beer thing. But you know what I mean. You got drugs on you. The cops are behind you. I'm just kidding. Follow that line. Then what we can do here is we're going to bring this in. Steady hand. And now I think it's safe to hit this other eyeball right here. And then don't ask why. I think for this line, I'm going to do the heavy hitter. Just feels right. Hopefully I don't regret this. Nice. So that's what it's all about, having control. A lot of it isn't your wrist, a lot of it's your arm. You want to stiffen your arm. and just work off the bottom of your hand and just slide your hand and have control over that marker so you can turn and just keep that line straight. You don't want to do that and have a wobbly line. Everything has to be crispy, your lines have to be straight. And see, this may seem like super petty, anal, whatever you want to call it, but see this? See that little bit? Like that drives me crazy. And you may think like, you're nuts! It looks fine. But clean that stuff up. It takes 2 seconds. Oh, like nothing. So now before we move on to the body, let's start adding stuff to the head. Right now is a time for an extra fine tip. You don't want to use a 2mm, 4mm, what have you. You want to use extra fine because you can just work off that tiny tip and really get in there. So what we're going to be doing now is just adding a little detail around the eyes. And you want to be careful with extra fine because they're so sharp and they'll catch on to the fabric of the canvas or like the texture and all that, and it'll skip. It'll catch on and skip and shoot paint out. And, you know, we're just freestyling this thing. I don't know where these lines should go. We're just putting them wherever. So with that, I'm going to use a 2mm. And then we can clean it up with the fine. Cool. And then what I want to do right here is bring his snout down, and I want to connect his eye to it. And if you find this live stream later today or a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you watch the whole thing, congratulations. Because a lot of people, they say like, oh, I wish I could draw, I wish I could do this. I'm telling you everything that I know. You just have to take the time to listen and actually want to do it. And this little detail, like, don't worry about that so much. This is just like my style. This is things that I like to do. You could just do the definition around the eyes and be done with it, but look at it, think, picture like a cartoon face. Picture a cartoon animal face. Think like, okay, well, this is where his mouth is. Well, I'm gonna do a line from the chin to the mouth. I'm gonna make lines around his eyes. This is kind of like when people have crow's feet by their eye, but we're gonna do like an animal style. Just do like some lines around, give them little wrinkles, whatever you want to do. Add it in, like watch this. You know, we're just making it up as we go. Little things. Hair dryer real quick. We don't want to drag our hand through anything black. This is the most important part, because if you're doing color, if you're doing one of these peach, apricot, yellow, and you drag your hand through it, it's easy to cover up. Now that we're rocking the black, you drag your hand through it and smear black, it's going to be a nightmare. It's a can of worms we do not want to open today. So dry that black. Make sure it's dry. Don't drag your hand through it. Sorry about the noise. Alright, now for the mouth, you want the mouth to be a thick line. You don't want it to be fine tip line, because you want the mouth to have definition. You want it to be bold. You want it to pop from the rest of the features, the rest of the face of the gecko. Does that make sense? I'll show you right now. And then if you remember, when I was sketching him, I had the mouth come up more, but then I said, well, we don't want it to interfere with that line, so we're going to drag that mouth down. So we're going to follow this line, and then we're going to come this way, and then up. So we got one shot. Let's not screw this up. Make some elbow room before I... Just like such. Now you can get in there with a thinner tip and just kind of clean it up a bit like this. You just want to thicken it all the way. I'll just thicken that up while we're at it. Sweet. I'm wondering if I should extend this line up past this circle and then do the... Yeah, let's try it. Lizards, geckos have big mouths anyways. Sweet. And now I'm kind of leaving the eyes open for right now, because I'm not going to give him normal eyes. I want to give him little designs for his eyes. So we're going to wait. This is going to sound crazy, but we're going to wait till we get to the fingertips to decide his eyes. Because I like doing those spirals for the fingertips. Stop talking and just draw already! And that's why I put that thin yellow line there to separate that apricot. Knee, thigh, chin. And remember, these are cartoon characters. You don't got to get into the crazy, like, anatomy of the body and all that. Just have fun. One thing I definitely do as an artist when I'm drawing is I don't know if it's like OCD. I get bored in one spot. So see how I was like working on the leg down here, and then next thing you know, I'm up here working on this. I really should finish one area before I jump to the next, but I don't know. I don't know. And if you see here how I did like a little, I went out of line and did like a little hump. I'm just gonna work some knuckle, like, the lines of your knuckles. I'm just gonna work that into his hand. Just thicken that line up a little more. And then we're gonna give him like a little bicep up there, kind of, yeah. And then rock the extra fine tip for a little more detail. We're gonna give him a shoulder. Maybe a little bit of skin right there. There we go. I mean, this is where it really starts to get fun because you just go wild with it. And I want to use extra fine for this because I need skinny lines. Being that everything's so close together and squished, you don't want to do a fat line and not have room for everything else. Here we go, jumping around again. One thing we gotta do is give him little nostrils. Cool. Happy. Let's jump around some more, why not? Now this is probably starting to make a lot more sense if you're watching this. You're like, oh wow, from the sketch to now, he's starting to come to life a bit more. And you're like, wow, this guy's starting to, he doesn't sound so crazy anymore. I get what he's drawing. And I'm trying to break it down for you the best I can. I'm kind of in like autopilot right now while I focus on this. Something I can do is give him like a belly. I'm seeing all kinds of different things I could do. You know what, let's just, whatevs. Gonna ride this. And I don't want to do too much, because next thing you know, you get carried away with it, you feel cocky, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. Next thing, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, you know what I mean? So let's stop. You can always add more if you want. Okay. No, let's jump around a bit. Why not, right? Let's do this. I guess it's not bad to jump around when you're freestyling a piece because new thoughts come to you. You know, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I jump around. I don't know, but all right. Yeah. Cool. Works for me. I'll watch this. Sweet. Now I envisioned what I want to do with the eyes. Classic sticky paint fingers spiral. Do you want to do that with the other eye? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I might do like an asterisk star. Not like a star in the sky, but like on your phone. Asterisk, yeah. Yeah, why not? Who's to tell us what we can and can't do, right? I know, how about like an X? Sweet. So this is how he originally was when I doodled him on this piece of wood. This is what he looks like now. As you can see, I tweaked some things in my mind, made him like more pointed. I think it looks a lot better. Yeah. I gotta pee. All right, where was I? Where were we? So I think it's safe to get, I think it's safe to finish the outline, and I'm getting ahead of myself by getting into the wild detailing. So I want to finish this arm, finish this foot, the tail, and then we can get crazy with it. You're like, I don't care. Shut up. Stop talking. Just finish. I dry my hands. Ha-ha! Yeah! All right. Was that me? Okay. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming soon. And when you do something like that, when you do something that stupid, make sure that you wipe it completely off. Wipe it completely off of where you smeared it, because then you're like, oh, shoot, crap. And then you continue somewhere else. Next thing you know, that little part where you smeared it's still in your hand and it's smearing more. Now what we gotta do is just get in there with the tip and we'll make it right, but inconvenient. That's why when you're using paint markers, when you're outlining stuff, it's easy to get lost in your piece and really you're just so focused on it. Next thing you know, you're vulnerable, you forget, wet paint, slide your hand through it. Man, that's driving me nuts looking at it. It's unacceptable. I should probably finish this foot. Totally forgot. The best way to avoid, coming from me, the guy who just did it, the best way to avoid dragging your hand through wet paint is DJ your piece. Like it's a record. You just keep spinning it and spinning it. You want to go on angles where there's no wet paint so you can set your hand down and be comfortable. Because it's not fun stretching your arm across and trying to, like, you know, going through the lasers. The room full of lasers and you're crawling around trying not to touch them. You don't want to do that. That's uncomfortable. You can't really focus like you should. Cool, let's hit some detail. Knee. Give him a little ankle. Woo! My fingers are close to that wet paint. I'll tell you what. How about this again? DJ. Sweet. Well, let's jump around a bit more while we're at it. Why not? Yeah, I gotta clean that up. It's no good. I can go back through once that dries with the black and touch that up. Little spots here and there. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Sweet. Shoot, I didn't want to do that. So I messed up somewhere in the hand, in the finger. This area is not right. I think what I want is this finger to overlap that one. Plus I got a little skip of paint right there. Dangerous going over black paint. See how it kind of altered the color a bit? I'm gonna have to hit a few coats on that. Same with here. Does that go down like that? Let's try it. See what I'm saying? Like, one finger was overlapping the other. It looked weird. I think I have to have this finger overlap that one. Now it just looks like they're connected. It looks really weird. But hey, it's a cartoon. It could look like that if I wanted it to. Okay, there we go, like nothing happened. We'll come back to that. Let's hit this other leg. these here. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, back to this abomination that I created over here. What I think I need to do is just have this come in. Ah, yeah, there we go. Cool, wasn't that big of a deal. Awesome, let me just... Sweet. That's what I'm saying about the little detail. You just go through, add it in. Alright, now just the tail. Now if you recall, I added that strip of yellow right there. Now I wish I would have left it, let it be, because I think that'd look cool. But we're not gonna cry about it. Trying to think, just looking at them, I'm like, what more can I do? Tell you what, this is something I like to do. If I don't like it, we'll just cover it up. Sweet. I almost want to hit him with some red somewhere. I'm going to finish the tail and then think on it. I think some red would be sweet. Spin it like a DJ. Don't get your hands in wet paint. Learn from me. The reason I took my tip off the canvas right there was because I didn't have a clear view of where I was going. You always want to see the route that you're going so you can one-shot it. So I had to stop right there and then turn it, get a better view. Does that make sense? And like here, I'm gonna go down, instead of like taking that turn and then going back up, I'm gonna stop right here. But I'm gonna stop at a part where I can curve it a bit. So you won't see the separation back to the connection. See, like that. Because you don't want to see this line come, and you know what I mean. clean that up. No biggie. Looking at this character, he kind of reminds me of something from like Rocco's Modern Life. Remember that on Nickelodeon? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. I don't see Charmander no more. All right, now, this is a sweet part for fine detail. You can see all these wiggles, these grooves. You can come in extra fine. And really, let's see, do we want to go this way or this way? Let's go this way. So with that, you just want to follow the grooves. Just bring it in a bit for the... So like this one, I'm gonna have it go ride up and then come out. And then just flick it. Same with here. I don't know if I should add a little red. I really like him. I like him how he is. I want to do the white highlight outline around him, but about that is there's so many little tight spots, and the white that I like to use is a 4mm, so it's gonna be a little dicey getting in like there and there. But I don't know. I gotta just sit and look at this for a minute. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm gonna hit it with the hairdryer for a couple seconds because I don't want my white to catch any wet black. All right. This calls for the steadiest of steady hands right here. Let me get some of these markers on my face. Put some stuff somewhere else. All right. And I know once I do this, I'll be like, oh, I should have did it in the first place. I shouldn't even thought about it. This is gonna look awesome. So let's give it a shot. Might as well just hit these parts I'm dreading first. A little tip, being that this is a 4mm, I believe, let me check. Yeah, this is a 4, so if I want it thinner, like see how I got it to be super thin? This is a 4, that black right there. I got that because you don't want to fully push it down. You want to work off the very tip, so as light-handed as you can be, and really watch and see where the tip of your tip is, and then just go lightly, like kind of levitate over it. You'll get a super thin line. If I were to just like push down like normal, this whole area would just be white. So that's what I was nervous about. I'm gonna go through with the black and clean that part up. No biggie. So let's just go, I'm just gonna go a straight shot. It's okay for it to be thicker here because we don't have any little area. Yeah, I think that white's gonna be killer. I know this is where I want to go from here, probably to here. Don't talk about it, be about it, shouldn't it? Woo! That line had me sweating. I gotta take a second. Whoo, lordy, lordy. And this is a little part I didn't want to deal with, but it's just gonna have to all be white right there. That's that little part of white, that drives me nuts. I don't know where that came from. I don't even remember when it happened, but okay. In case you're wondering, this is a deco color I'm using right now. These are I love the paint. Love the paint on these. This is the one I say it goes on like butter. Just gotta always remember to take that tip out and before you prime it. And this paint, you don't want to drag your hand through it and smear it because it'll be game over. This is glossy. This paint is super sticky. Oops, I almost did it. Some of the lines on this character is like a roller coaster. Can only blame myself for that. I'm happy I did the white though. That's what I mean about the roller coaster. Holy smokes. Sweet. I'm happy that's over with. How long was this? Hour and 20 minutes this took. And that's live. I took one pee break, I guess. Later on, when this is completely dry, I don't think a hairdryer is going to dry this white because it's a different kind of paint. It's really thick. I'm going to go through and just like little spots where the white kind of touched the black. I'm going to clean that up. Other than that, I really like this character. I'm happy it came out the way it did. He seriously came out exactly how I imagined him. Background's cool. The colors are cool. Yeah, I'm stoked with it. I'm going to put him in a frame. I'm probably going to keep this one. But most likely, you're going to find this video later in life when my channel gets a little bigger. Hopefully people see this. They can take everything that I said, take bits and pieces of what I said. I hope it helps. I'm talking to you watching it. I hope you learned something from this video. At the least, enjoyed watching it, had fun. It was super cool with hanging out with the people that did watch. And I understand this is a weird time to be going live. Everyone's in school and work, but yeah, I'll be doing more of these. Cool how that came out. I love him. And his name's Gordon, by the way. Gordon Gecko. Ha ha! Thanks for watching. That was fun.